A wise man once said nothing at all because wise men speak when they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. We're all too familiar with those who only talk for attention, filling the air with meaningless chatter to mask their lack of substance. But the ancient Stoics knew better. They saw words as weapons, effective only when precisely targeted and used purposefully. On top of that, it's in silence that we can observe, learn, and understand. Thus, by speaking less and listening more, your words gain weight and substance, making others listen. When you speak less and one, where does true power reside? The Stoics' quiet strength. Where does true power reside? Have you ever wondered where your true power lies? Is it in the physical strength you possess, the influence you hold over others, or perhaps somewhere more subtle? The Stoics would argue that the greatest strength lies in the quiet resilience of the mind. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight forms the foundation of our first lesson on the power of quiet strength. Why do you think the Stoics placed such importance on mental fortitude? It's because they understood that life's most persistent challenges are not external but internal. Our reactions, our fears, and our desires shape our reality far more than the events themselves. By cultivating a quiet mind free from the tumult of uncontrolled emotions and reactions, one can achieve an unparalleled strength. How does this quiet strength manifest in daily life? Consider the scenario of receiving criticism. The Stoic approach isn't to shut down or retaliate, but to listen calmly, assess the validity of the criticism, and decide rationally whether it warrants a change in behavior. This response not only conserves mental energy but also empowers personal growth and emotional resilience. But what exactly does it mean to cultivate a quiet mind? It begins with the practice of reflection. Each evening, take a moment to review your day. What stirred your emotions? How did you respond? Could a quieter, more reasoned approach have altered the outcome for the better? This practice not only improves self-awareness but also enhances your ability to remain calm in future interactions. The Stoics also teach us about the impermanence of all things. How often do you find yourself clinging to moments, whether good or bad? Aurelius reminds us you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This awareness encourages us to live fully in the present, embracing each moment with intensity but without attachment. What can we learn from our everyday challenges? Each difficulty, each moment of discomfort offers a unique opportunity to practice Stoic virtues such as discipline and patience. When faced with an obstacle, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Viewing challenges through this lens transforms them from hurdles to stepping stones in your personal journey toward a quieter mind. How often do you find yourself swayed by the opinions of others? The Stoics emphasized the importance of inner conviction and moral integrity over societal approval. This isn't to say that one should disregard others entirely, but rather that we should weigh our values and reason above external pressures. For your practical application, focus on one Stoic principle: the control over one's reactions. Whenever you feel a rush of emotion, take a deliberate pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, is my impending reaction within the realm of reason? This simple practice can help maintain a quiet mind amidst the noise of everyday life. Silence in interpersonal dynamics. Lesson 2: harnessing silence in interpersonal dynamics. Have you ever noticed how silence can speak louder than words in a conversation? This lesson explores the Stoic practice of harnessing the quiet strength of the mind to enhance our interpersonal relationships. The Stoics believe that true wisdom comes from listening more than speaking. By cultivating silence, we
give ourselves the space to truly hear and understand others, which is crucial in building strong relationships. This practice not only deepens our connections but also helps us respond more thoughtfully to those around us. Consider for a moment the last time you really listened to someone. How did that affect the interaction? Silence in conversation allows us to observe not just the words, but the tone, emotion, and underlying sentiments of our counterpart. Stoic philosophy teaches us that understanding comes from observation and reflection, not hasty reaction. When we pause before responding, we create an opportunity to process the information fully, leading to more effective communication. This approach can prevent misunderstandings and conflicts that often arise from impulsive responses. How often do you find yourself reacting quickly without fully understanding the situation? Next time, try embracing a moment of silence to gather your thoughts. The Stoics also valued the concept of empathy, which is closely tied to our ability to maintain a quiet mind. By remaining silent, we offer ourselves internally to others' experiences and perspectives. This empathetic silence is powerful. It shows respect and a willingness to engage on a deeper level. Think about a time when someone offered you their silent attention. How did that make you feel? Such moments can significantly strengthen the bonds between individuals, fostering a sense of mutual respect and understanding. Practical wisdom. A key Stoic virtue involves knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. In our fast-paced world, the ability to hold one's tongue is a form of strength. This restraint allows us to avoid saying things in haste that we might later regret. By practicing this aspect of Stoic quiet strength, we can become more deliberate in our interactions. Have you ever regretted words spoken in haste? Reflecting on these instances can reinforce the value of thoughtful silence. Another aspect of Stoic silence is its role in conflict resolution. Disagreements are inevitable, but how we handle them can define the quality of our relationship. Stoics advocate for a calm demeanor and a quiet mind even in the heat of conflict. This approach does not mean passivity, rather it involves actively choosing a peaceful and rational response over an emotional and potentially destructive one. How could silence and a calm response change the outcome of your next disagreement? Silence also plays a crucial role in the practice of self-reflection. The Stoics believe that the quality of our relationships mirrors the state of our inner lives. By cultivating silence within ourselves, we create the mental space necessary for introspection. This inner quietude can help us understand our motivations, biases, and feelings, ultimately leading us to better interactions with others. What discoveries might you make in your quiet moments that could improve your relationships? For your practical exercise, focus on implementing periods of intentional silence in your daily interactions. Choose a specific conversation each day to consciously practice listening more and speaking less. Observe the effects this has on the dynamics of the conversation. How does changing your approach affect the way others respond to you? This practice can lead to profound insights about the power of silence in our social interactions. Remember that the quiet strength of the mind is not just about internal peace, it also enhances our ability to connect with, understand, and influence others positively. Lesson 3: Managing criticism with quiet strength. How do you managing criticism with Stoic quiet strength typically react when faced with criticism? This lesson explores the Stoic approach to handling criticism using the quiet strength and tranquility of the mind. The Stoics believed that criticism, whether constructive or harsh, offers a unique opportunity to practice virtues such as resilience, temperance, and humility. By responding to criticism with a quiet mind, we can extract useful insights and grow stronger in character. Imagine the peace you could maintain if you viewed criticism through the lens of personal development rather than personal attack. This perspective shift is key to embodying Stoic quiet strength. First consider the Stoic principle that only our own opinions can harm us, not the words of others. When criticized, try to detach your personal feelings from the content of the feedback. This detachment allows you to assess objectively whether the criticism has merit and should be acted upon. By doing so, you remain calm and composed, which is essential for thoughtful reflection. How often have you allowed someone's words to disturb your peace, unnecessarily? Learning to separate fact from emotion is a powerful skill in maintaining a quiet mind. Stoics also advocate for the practice of reflection before reaction. When receiving criticism, take a moment to pause and breathe. This pause prevents knee-jerk reactions and helps maintain your composure. It also gives you time to consider the critic's intentions and the truth behind their words. Could they be pointing out something you've overlooked? This reflective pause can transform potential conflicts into opportunities for personal growth. Another useful Stoic practice is to question the validity of the criticism. Ask yourself whether the feedback is based on facts or merely opinions. This questioning can help you determine if the criticism should influence your actions or be dismissed. It also encourages a more analytical approach to interactions, which is central to Stoic philosophy. How do you determine which criticisms are worth considering? Developing criteria for this can enhance your decision-making skills. The Stoics also believed in the power of gratitude even in challenging situations. Like receiving negative feedback, try to find something to be grateful for in every piece of criticism. Perhaps it offers a chance to learn something new about yourself or to correct a path that might not have been leading you where you want to go. This mindset not only eases the sting of harsh words but also aligns with the Stoic aim of constant self-improvement. Have you ever discovered a valuable insight hidden in a difficult conversation? Additionally, it's important to recognize the limitations of your control over others' perceptions and judgments. The Stoic quiet strength comes from understanding that you cannot control what others think of you, only how you respond. This realization can liberate you from the burden of trying to please everyone, which is impossible. Instead, focus on maintaining your integrity and acting according to your principles. When was the last time you felt at peace despite knowing someone disagreed with you? In practicing Stoic quiet strength, remember the value of feedback loops. After processing criticism, consider reaching out for clarification or more detail. This proactive approach demonstrates your commitment to improvement and your willingness to engage constructively with critics. It also helps you build resilience by regularly exposing yourself to feedback and learning to handle it with grace. How could initiating feedback loops improve your relationships and personal growth? For your practical exercise, reflect on a recent instance of criticism you received. Write down your initial emotional reaction, then apply Stoic techniques to reassess the situation. Did you find any valid points within the criticism? How can you use this feedback to enhance your personal or professional life? Practicing this analysis will help strengthen your Stoic quiet mind and prepare you for future critiques. Remember that every piece of feedback, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues. Lesson 4. Overcoming fear and anxiety with Stoic quiet strength. Overcoming fear and anxiety with quiet strength. How do you handle the fears and anxieties that life throws your way? In this lesson, we explore the Stoic approach to managing these common emotional challenges using the power of a quiet mind. The Stoics believe that fear and anxiety often stem from our judgments about the future rather than the actual events. Else, by applying principles of Stoicism, we can adjust our perceptions, focus on the present, and maintain our inner calm. Imagine the tranquility you could enjoy by mastering Your reactions to the uncertainties of life. This mastery is not about suppressing feelings but understanding and addressing them from a place of strength. Firstly, Stoicism teaches us the importance of distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. When you feel anxious or fearful, take a moment to analyze the situation. Ask yourself, is this something within my control? Often you'll find that your fears are rooted in things outside your control, such as the actions of others or the outcome of future events. Recognizing this can help reduce the intensity of your feelings by focusing on what you can influence your thoughts and actions. You reclaim your power over anxiety. The practice of mindfulness is a key tool in the Stoic arsenal for combating fear and anxiety. Mindfulness involves staying fully present in the moment without overthinking past troubles or future worries. This practice helps you break the cycle of anxiety that can be triggered by dwelling on things that have not happened and may never happen. Try to ground yourself in the here and now by focusing on your senses, what you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. How does this practice change your emotional state? Another Stoic method for managing fear is the technique of negative visualization, which we touched on in previous lessons. This involves deliberately imagining the worst case scenario in detail. The purpose is not to dwell on negative outcomes but to reduce the fear of the unknown and to prepare mentally for any possibility. This preparation can make the actual events feel less daunting as you realize that you can handle more than you think. Have you ever found that something you feared turned out to be less scary once it happened? Stoics also advocate for the development of resilience through exposure. Gradually exposing yourself to the things that scare you can significantly reduce the power they hold over you. This doesn't mean recklessly confronting your deepest fears, but rather taking small, manageable steps toward facing them. Each successful encounter builds confidence and reinforces your ability to cope. What small step could you take today towards overcoming a fear? It is also beneficial to engage in regular reflection on the impermanence of our experiences. Stoics are encouraged to remember that just as positive moments pass, so too do negative ones. This perspective can help you maintain a balanced view of life's ups and downs. When anxiety strikes, remind yourself that this too shall pass. How might this thought alter your response the next time you feel overwhelmed? In line with Stoic teachings, embracing orati, the love of fate, is another transformative strategy. This means accepting and even embracing whatever life brings, trusting that there is value in every experience. When you adopt this mindset, fear loses its grip and anxiety can transform into curiosity. How can you start seeing challenging situations as opportunities to learn and grow? For your practical exercise, reflect on a recent anxiety-inducing situation. Apply Stoic principles to reevaluate your response. Did you focus on elements within your control? How could mindfulness or negative visualization have altered your perspective? Practice these techniques regularly to strengthen your Stoic quiet mind. Remember that the power to change your emotional landscape lies within you. Stoic quiet strength in financial wisdom. Lesson 5: Stoic quiet strength and financial wisdom. How does Stoic philosophy guide us in managing personal finances and economic decisions? This lesson delves into how the power of Stoic quiet strength can help us approach financial matters with rationality, discipline, and a clear mind. The Stoics believe that external wealth holds no real value unless it contributes to a virtuous life. By applying Stoic principles to our financial habits, we can foster a relationship with money that supports our personal growth and well-being. Imagine a financial strategy not driven by greed or fear, but by wisdom and moderation. This approach not only secures financial stability, but also aligns our economic actions with our Deepest Values Stoicism teaches the importance of differentiating between needs and desires. A Stoic approach to finances involves focusing on what is necessary for a content and functional life rather than indulging in every want. This distinction helps prevent the accumulation of unnecessary debt and promotes a simpler, more focused lifestyle. Reflect on your own spending habits. How often do you spend money on things you want rather than things you truly need? By practicing this Stoic discipline, you can improve your financial health and free yourself from the cycle of consumerism. Another key aspect of Stoic financial wisdom is the concept of sufficiency. Stoics strive for a state where they feel they have enough, which fosters contentment and gratitude. This mindset is incredibly valuable in today's world where there is constant pressure to acquire more. Think about your own financial goals. Are they aimed at genuine sufficiency, or are you chasing an endless increase? Learning to appreciate what you have can reduce financial stress and increase overall happiness. Stoics also value the practice of foresight and planning when it comes to finances. They advocate for preparing for future needs and potential crises by saving and investing wisely. This preparation is not driven by anxiety about the future but by rational assessment of potential risks. How prepared are you for unexpected financial setbacks? Regular financial planning sessions can help you stay on track and maintain peace of mind. The Stoic principle of non-attachment is particularly useful in the realm of investment. Stoics maintain a detached attitude towards gains and losses, focusing instead on making informed, rational investment choices. This detachment helps prevent emotional decision-making, particularly in response to market volatility. How do you react to financial losses? Cultivating non-attachment can help you make more balanced decisions in turbulent times. Stoicism encourages us to use our resources wisely, not only for our own benefit but also for the good of others. This includes making charitable donations and supporting community projects. Think about how you can use your financial resources to contribute to your community or to cause as you care about. Such contributions enrich our lives and strengthen our connections to others. Aligning our financial actions with Stoic values of community and support. Regular reflection on our financial status and decisions is another Stoic practice that promotes financial wisdom. By frequently assessing your financial health and the motivations behind your financial decisions, you can ensure that your actions remain aligned with your values. When was the last time you reflected on your financial decisions? Implement them in a routine. Financial review can help you stay mindful and proactive about your economic well-being. For your practical exercise, review your current financial situation and identify areas where Stoic principles can be applied to improve decision-making. Consider your approach to saving, spending, investments, and charitable giving. Are these aligned with Stoic values of sufficiency? Rational planning and community support. Make one change this week based on your reflections and observe how it impacts your financial peace of mind. Lesson 6. Achieving life balance with quiet strength. Achieving life balance with quiet strength. How do you maintain balance in the whirlwind of life's demands? This lesson explores how Stoic quiet strength can help us achieve a harmonious balance between work, personal life, and spiritual well-being. The Stoics believe that balance isn't about spending equal time on all aspects of life, but rather about allocating our energy wisely based on what brings us true fulfillment and peace. By cultivating a quiet mind, we can make decisions that align with our deepest values rather than being swayed by fleeting emotions or external pressures. Imagine the clarity and contentment you could experience by living a life in true alignment with your principles. This Stoic approach to balance emphasizes the quality of our engagements over their quantity first. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize our commitments through the lens of virtue and personal growth. Ask yourself, do my daily activities reflect my values and contribute to my growth? This practice helps us weed out unnecessary commitments and focus on what truly matters. By simplifying our lives in this way, we can dedicate more attention and quality effort to fewer tasks, enhancing both our productivity and our personal satisfaction. How might your life change if you removed activities that don't align with your core values? The Stoics also advocate for a practice known as voluntary discomfort. By occasionally choosing to live more simply or to forego certain comforts, we can gain greater appreciation for what we have and strengthen our resilience against life's inevitable hardships. This practice can help recalibrate our needs versus wants, leading to a more balanced lifestyle. Consider, for instance, how reducing dependence on digital devices could improve your face-to-face interactions and mental clarity. Mindfulness is another key component of Stoic balance. It involves being fully present in each activity, whether working, spending time with family, or engaging in solitude. Stoics believe that mindfulness leads to deeper enjoyment and appreciation of life's experiences. Try to focus solely on the task at hand without letting your mind wander to past regrets or future worries. How does being present affect the quality of your engagements and your overall sense of balance? Reflection is crucial in maintaining life balance. Regularly assessing how you spend your time and energy can reveal imbalances that may lead to stress or dissatisfaction. The Stoics practiced evening reflections to evaluate the day's actions and decisions. Implementing a similar routine could help you adjust your activities to better reflect your personal and professional goals. What insights might you gain from a daily reflection practice? The Stoic principle of adaptation is vital for achieving balanced. Life is dynamic and our circumstances can change unexpectedly. Stoics strive to adapt gracefully to these changes by maintaining a flexible but principled approach to life. When unexpected events disrupt your routine, consider them opportunities to practice patience and flexibility. How can you apply this principle to adapt more gracefully to life's unpredictability? Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of community and relationships in achieving balance. Engaging meaningfully with others can provide support and enhance our own well-being. Make time for relationships that nourish you and be willing to help others. Stoics believe that contributing to the common good is a crucial part of living a balanced and meaningful life. How do your relationships contribute to your sense of balance? For your practical exercise, write down your major weekly activities and categorize them under necessary, fulfilling, and superfluous. Reflect on whether your time allocation aligns with your values and what adjustments could lead to a more balanced life. Try implementing one change based on this reflection and observe how it affects your well-being. Remember that balance is not a static state but a continuous adjustment to align our practices with our values. Lesson 7. Stoic quiet strength. In quiet strength in decision-making. Do you ever feel overwhelmed when faced with a significant decision? This lesson focuses on how Stoic quiet strength can guide us through complex decision-making processes. The Stoics teach that a quiet mind is not distracted by irrelevant details but concentrates on what truly matters. By cultivating inner silence, we can enhance our ability to make decisions that are not only effective but also aligned with our deeper values. Imagine the clarity you could achieve by silencing the noise of everyday distractions. This focused approach allows us to weigh our options more objectively and make choices that stand the test of time. How can we apply Stoic principles to improve our decision-making? First, consider the Stoic concept of the dichotomy of control. which distinguishes between what we can and cannot control when making decisions. Focus your energy on the aspects within your control, like your efforts and attitudes, rather than external outcomes. This shift in focus reduces anxiety and promotes a more rational approach to decision-making. It encourages us to accept uncertainty and focus on the quality of our actions. Can you think of a recent decision where understanding this dichotomy could have helped? Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of foresight in decision-making. The Stoics advocate thinking several steps ahead, considering not just the immediate effects of a decision but its long-term implications as well. This practice known as premeditation involves contemplating potential outcomes and preparing mentally for them. By doing so, you can avoid impulsive decisions that might lead to regret. How often do you consider the long-term effects of your decisions? Another Stoic strategy involves using negative visualization. This technique encourages us to imagine the worst-case scenario of a given decision. While this might seem pessimistic, it is actually a powerful tool for reducing fear and anxiety. By contemplating the worst possible outcome and realizing that you can handle it, you build emotional resilience and confidence in your decision-making. Have you ever tried this approach? How did it affect your decision-making process? The Stoics also teach us the value of simplicity in decision-making. In a world where choices can be overwhelmingly complex, simplifying your options can be incredibly freeing. By reducing the number of factors you consider and focus on what's truly essential, you can make more confident and clear-headed decisions. This simplicity fosters a quiet mind, uncluttered by unnecessary complications. When was the last time simplifying a choice made it easier for you to decide? In the realm of personal growth, decision-making is an essential skill that benefits greatly from the Stoic quiet strength. Each decision offers an opportunity to practice virtues like wisdom and courage. Reflecting on your decisions through a Stoic lens can help you understand how they align with your values and how they contribute to your character development. This reflection not only enhances future decision-making but also deepens your personal integrity. How do your decisions reflect your values? For your practical exercise, try the Stoic method of daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to consider the decisions you made. Evaluate them based on their alignment with Stoic principles. Were they within your control? Did they reflect foresight and rational thinking? Were they simple and to the point? This practice can sharpen your decision-making skills and strengthen your Stoic quiet mind. Lesson 8: Navigating loss and grief with quiet. Navigating loss and grief with quiet strength. How do you respond to the inevitable losses and grief that life presents? This lesson delves into how Stoic quiet strength can help us navigate the turbulent waters of loss and grief with composure and resilience. The Stoics understood that life includes inevitable suffering and loss, but they also believed in our capacity to face these challenges with dignity and strength. By using Stoic principles, we can maintain a quiet mind even in the face of profound sadness. Consider how transforming your approach to grief could not only help you cope, but also grow from these experiences. This process is about finding peace within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. Firstly, Stoicism teaches us to expect the unexpected and accept it when it arrives. This doesn't diminish the pain of loss, but prepares us mentally to handle it. When we acknowledge that loss is a part of life, we can face it more directly and with less resistance. Ask yourself, have I acknowledged the potential for loss in my life? By accepting the inevitability of change and loss, we can reduce the shock and overwhelming grief that often accompanies unexpected events. Stoics also emphasize the importance of detachment from external things, including relationships. This doesn't mean we should not form deep connections or love deeply, but rather that we understand. All things are temporary. Reflecting on this, impermanence helps us appreciate our relationships more profoundly while they last and maintain our equilibrium when they end. How might viewing relationships through this lens of impermanence change your reactions to loss? Another key Stoic practice in dealing with grief is turning inward and focusing on what we can control: our thoughts and reactions. Grief often feels like an uncontrollable flood of emotions, but we can choose how to channel these feelings. Instead of letting sorrow control us, we can look for ways to honor our lost loved ones through our actions and decisions. What are ways you can actively choose your response the next time you face a loss? The Stoics encourage the expression of emotions in a controlled and mindful manner. While Stoicism often emphasizes emotional regulation, it doesn't advocate for the suppression of feelings. It's important to allow ourselves to feel sad, to mourn, and to express these feelings constructively. Have you allowed yourself to fully experience grief, or have you tried to suppress it? Finding a balance between feeling and controlling your emotions is key to handling grief with quiet strength. Utilizing the Stoic practice of writing as a form of reflection and therapy can also be beneficial. Writing about your feelings of loss and the memories of those you've lost can help process these emotions. This reflective writing should focus on gratitude for the past and acceptance of the present. How often do you use writing or other forms of art to express and process your emotions? Stoicism also teaches us about the concept of the inner citadel, a mental fortress that we can retreat into when experiencing emotional turmoil. This concept encourages us to develop and strengthen our inner resilience so that we can remain stable and composed regardless of external events. Consider how you can strengthen your inner citadel to better withstand the storms of grief and loss. Practicing gratitude even in the face of losses another Stoic method to manage grief. Focusing on what we still have rather than what we've lost shifts our perspective and helps cultivate a sense of peace and acceptance. What are you grateful for today despite the losses you have faced? This shift SHFT and focus can profoundly affect our overall well-being and attitude towards life. For your practical exercise, reflect on a loss you have experienced recently or in the past. Apply the Stoic principles discussed to revisit this event with a new perspective. Analyze how acceptance, the practice of reflection, emotional expression, and gratitude could have or did influence your experience of grief. Practicing these techniques regularly can fortify your Stoic quiet strength. Remember that the journey through sorrow is not just about enduring, but also about understanding and growing. Lesson: cultivating leadership with quiet strength. 9. Cultivating leadership with Stoic quiet strength. How does Stoic philosophy influence effective leadership? In this lesson we explore how Stoic quiet strength can be harnessed to develop key leadership qualities such as resilience, integrity, and vision. The Stoics believe that true leaders must first govern themselves before they can effectively lead others. By cultivating a quiet mind, leaders can make decisions that are not only rational and well considered but also aligned with ethical principles. Imagine the impact of leadership that consistently demonstrates calm in the face of challenges and clarity in complex situations. This kind of leadership not only inspires trust but also drives meaningful progress. Leadership begins with self-mastery, a core Stoic value. A leader must have control over their emotions and impulses to lead others effectively. By practicing self-discipline, a leader can set a powerful example for their team, demonstrating that personal control leads to professional excellence. Reflect on how your self-discipline influences those around you. Does your ability to maintain composure under stress inspire confidence and respect in your Colleagues, Stoic leaders are also characterized by their commitment to justice and fairness. They strive to treat all individuals with respect regardless of their status or relationship. This impartiality fosters a culture of trust and openness within teams and organizations. As a leader, how often do you examine your decisions for fairness? Implementing regular reflections on the justice of your actions can strengthen your leadership and enhance team cohesion. Another important aspect of Stoic leadership is the ability to accept and adapt to change. Stoics understand that change is a constant and inevitable part of life. Leaders who embrace this reality can navigate transitions more smoothly and guide their teams through uncertainties with confidence. Consider how you react to change. Do you see it as an obstacle or an opportunity for growth and innovation? Effective communication is crucial for any leader, and Stoics practice clear and honest communication. By speaking plainly and truthfully, leaders can avoid misunderstandings and ensure that their teams are fully informed and aligned with organizational goals. How transparent are your communications? Ensuring that your team understands both what is happening and why it is happening can significantly boost their engagement and performance. Stoic leaders also recognize the importance of emotional intelligence, which includes empathy and the ability to connect with others on a personal level. This connection allows leaders to understand the needs and motivations of their team members, leading to more effective and supportive leadership. How do you practice empathy in your leadership? Regularly engaging with your team members on a personal level can reveal insights that improve your leadership strategies. The practice of humility is another Stoic virtue that enhances leadership. Leaders who acknowledge their own limitations and are open to feedback can learn and grow continuously. This humility prevents complacency and fosters a learning culture within the organization. When was the last time you asked for feedback on your leadership? Encouraging and acting on feedback can demonstrate your commitment to personal and organizational improvement. For your practical exercise, focus on one Stoic principle each day as you interact with your team. Whether it's practicing clear communication, demonstrating fairness, or adapting to a new challenge, observe how these Stoic practices influence your effectiveness as a leader. Record your observations and consider how you might incorporate these insights into your daily leadership approach. Remember that the best leaders are those who lead by example. Lesson 10. Enhancing personal relationships with quiet strength. Enhancing personal relationships with quiet strength. How can Stoic philosophy deepen and enrich our personal relationships? In this final lesson, we explore how the power of Stoic quiet strength can improve our interactions with friends, family, and partners. Stoics believe that the quality of our relationships greatly affects our well-being, and that cultivating a quiet mind leads to more meaningful and harmonious connections. By applying Stoic principles to our relationships, we can develop deeper empathy, clearer communication, and greater resilience in the face of relational challenges. Imagine how relationships could thrive under the guidance of patience, understanding, and self-control. This Stoic approach can transform not only how we relate to others, but how we understand ourselves in the process. First, Stoicism teaches us the value of empathy in understanding others' perspectives and emotions. By practicing active listening and putting ourselves in others' shoes, we can respond more thoughtfully and less reactively. Think about the last time you really listened to someone without planning your response while they were speaking. True listening can often reveal underlying issues and emotions that go beyond the words being spoken, helping to resolve conflicts more effectively and strengthen bonds. Stoics also emphasize the importance of managing our own reactions in relationships. It's easy to be swept away by strong emotions and respond in ways we later regret. By maintaining a quiet mind, we can choose responses that align with our values and promote harmony rather than discord. Reflect on a recent conflict. Could a moment of pause have changed the outcome? Practicing self-control allows us to approach situations with calmness and intention. Forgiveness is another crucial aspect of Stoic relationships. Holding on to grudges or resentment harms us more than it affects the other person. Stoics advocate for letting go of past hurts through understanding and forgiveness. Recognizing that everyone makes mistakes. By choosing to forgive, we free ourselves from negative emotions and open up the possibility for reconciliation and growth. How often do you hold on to grievances, and how might letting go benefit your relationships? The Stoic principle of accepting what we cannot change is particularly relevant in relationships. We often try to change others to fit our expectations, which can lead to frustration and conflict. Accepting others as they are without trying to control them can lead to more genuine and peaceful interactions. Consider the diversity of your relationships. How does accepting differences enhance your connections? Maintaining independence within relationships is another Stoic value. While it's important to support and engage with loved ones, we must also ensure we don't lose ourselves in those relationships. Stoics believe in the importance of personal integrity and independence, which fosters healthier and more balanced relationships. How do you maintain your own interests and identity while being closely connected to others? Stoicism also teaches us to appreciate the present moment with our loved ones. Instead of dwelling on past issues or future concerns, focusing on the here and now can enhance the quality of our interactions. Each moment spent with loved ones is precious and should be valued. How can you be more present in your relationship? Starting today, for your practical exercise this week, focus on applying one Stoic principle each day in your interactions with others, whether it's practicing empathy, forgiveness, acceptance, or presence. Observe how these practices impact your relationships. Take notes on your experience and feelings, reflecting on how Stoic quiet strength can continue to shape your relational dynamics. Remember that Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical guide for living by. Continuing to apply these